Hi there, everyone. My name is Helenique, and I'm very excited to share with you some very profound information that actually comes from a lot of research that's been done. In the past few years, many people have been facing tough decisions in their love relationships. They've been confronted by a lot of modern challenges. Both partners sometimes have careers or jobs that they need to stay committed to, and the whole face of the nuclear family as we once knew it from previous generations is changing. The whole picture is changing in love and personal relationships. And so there's been a lot of study, a lot of research done on the habits of people that are happily attached. And in fact, the research shows that people who are happily married live longer and are actually healthier in their lives than both single people and people that are unhappily attached. And marriage is not necessary as a way of defining attached, so it could be people that are living together or cohabiting, but generally people who are happily in long-term committed relationships attached, they seem to fare much better psychologically, emotionally, and physically as well. So there's been a lot of research on the habits of these people and what are they actually thinking about their partnership. How are they behaving with their partners? What kind of style of communication do they have? What habits do they continue on with day to day? And how is it that these relationships flourish and others do not? So the psychology of these people has been studied, and I'm going to share with you today some of the very interesting findings about the habits of happily attached people. Now, the reason for this information is to really begin to help you, empower you to become a love master, to become masterful around love, to really master the vibration of love, the frequency of love in our lives. It means we need to be operating at a very optimum level. And this is hard for us because we struggle with all kinds of challenges daily. We have all kinds of disappointments in human relationships, and we're all growing, learning many things about ourselves, about others, about how to get our needs met. Our needs might not have been met in the past, so we may have strange styles of attachment that we have to grow through. And so it's quite helpful to listen to this information and to know that it is well tested across the board and it's statistically relevant. So there are ways of checking if information is really relevant to us as a piece of research goes through some testing to really see if the results are generalizable, we call it, across the population. So we see that these results are quite relevant. They are statistically relevant, saying then that there is enough commonality between all these different people that were interviewed to say that there are these traits. Now, when you learn about these traits, you're going to be able to really develop and practice certain behaviors and know that these are going to facilitate healthy, happy arrangements, attachments, partnerships in your life. And you can practice them in all kinds of relationships and know that these are ones that are going to work particularly well in love relationships, and they are the ones that really help you to secure a good bond with your partner and to have it be a long-lasting, meaningful connection. So these are habits that are going to help you create lasting love, and they really speak to the fact that there is awareness in the person of the other person and the other person's needs. And this is really then a skill. It's a level of awareness and also a willingness to do what it takes to consider your partner as your other, or as somebody that you are really wanting to support and wanting to understand and wanting to facilitate in their growth and their development and in their fulfillment. And so one of the habits of happily attached people is that they found that they are people that are willing to bid for their partner. This means that they actually want to make their partner a priority in their lives. How they do this is a variety of ways, and we'll get into some more specific decisions that people are making in relationships that are working. But at the outset, we need to know that this work from a man called John Gottman is actually saying that you develop an ability to go beyond yourself. So this is quite important in relationships, learning how to not be very much focused on your own needs, but to also equally, if not sometimes even more than often, consider your partner and have them be a real priority in your life. So you need to make time for them. You need to make them feel that they are important to you, and you need to feel that they are important to you. Now, another habit is the ability to really express compassion in communication. Now, we all know how lovely it is when people care for us, and we feel that care in the way they speak to us and the way that they consider our needs. And when you can do this in a conversation, in a dialogue with your partner, it's really, really going to facilitate long-term happiness in the relationship. The other quality quite related to this is the ability to show empathy. And this is a way of showing love. So to show that you really feel the pain of the other person, or you feel their joy, that you can relate to whatever it is that they are going through emotionally, and that you actually care about that. Being able to show that in your language of love, in their language of love, even better. And if you don't know what that is, we can spend some more time together where you can find that out, or you can Google it, language of love. Everybody has different styles of expressing love. So you want to be able to show your love to that person, and even try and find a way to show them whatever they understand love to be. This is a really important quality. The whole area of affirmation, compliments, acknowledgement, validation is a really important part of self-esteem. And this goes across the board, from children to adults. We all are much benefited by others showing us our value in their gratefulness and their appreciation of us. It really helps us orientate ourselves in the world. It also helps to feed our self-esteem, but more than that, it helps us get real perspective on how we are related to other people and how we are valued in that relationship. So it's a way of mirroring in the world that helps to ground us, helps to confirm certain things that are useful to the other person, and therefore a really important skill. Very powerful in businesses when bosses can acknowledge the efforts of their staff and also encourage them and motivate them through that to actually keep up the good work and even continue to do better. So in a love relationship where you are actually meeting this person daily, there's a lot of reasons why you would be taking them for granted, and or they would end up feeling that they are unseen or unacknowledged easily. So this is something you want to work on, really how to show your affirmation. The other area is to navigate conflict. How do you actually listen and communicate your needs, and how do you deal with the opposing needs of the other person? How do you do this really clearly? This is a very important quality you want to be focusing on. The other area that attached people that are happily attached show is that they really have a way of being able to deepen the intimacy that they actually feel with other people. And the way that they do this is they have actually ways of soothing themselves and being soothed by their partner and their partner's love and care for them. And this has obviously got something to do with the willingness to receive love and attention from other people. And of course, you really know how important self-care is, and you can see why in a relationship investing all of your attention on yourself is not the best thing, and investing all of your attention on the other person is not the best thing either. But a good negotiated level of attention on what your partner is needing and what you're needing is really important. We go even deeper into this quality of awareness of the other and awareness of our own needs when we learn to take care of certain needs that we have ourselves and not expect our partner to do that. And this is another quality of happily attached people, is that they manage to continue their self-care, and they are doing a lot of self-development. They are continuing to improve themselves. They really care about being a better partner to the other person and about being a better human being for that matter. And so the self-care is a very important component for that. It's also connected to the ability I spoke about before, to be able to self-soothe oneself. So when there's a disappointment, your partner has upset you or hasn't remembered an important day or hasn't done what you've asked or doesn't show a certain kind of validation or acknowledgement that you feel is necessary, you have the capacity as a happily attached person to actually soothe yourself and to not get too focused on that and not get hooked into the disappointment for too long. You have a way of meeting your own emotional upset yourself. This is a very important quality, together with the one of being able to continually work on yourself. The other area, really interesting to notice, is that happily attached people actually really do make the effort to keep their relationship bonded and to have quality experiences. So you can begin learning to do that right now, giving yourself very specific justification for putting time aside to create a certain love vibration in your life. So even if you don't have a partner, you can develop this skill along with many of the others and do it in your daily life, weekly at least. Define a certain time that you're going to be using really for this purpose, to have a quality experience. Maybe you invite somebody else, maybe you do it specifically for you, and you actually pay attention to it and you take it seriously. This is going to help you develop this awareness on how to take care of something that's precious for you, and also the real experience of that, being able to prioritize that, being able to think of ways to do that, to think of experiences that are going to nourish you and really support you. If you are in a relationship, this is something you can be really putting into the schedule. A lot of couples have started recently to talk about date nights with their partners, and especially when you have children, it's actually been shown that this skill in relationship really helps to bond the couple together again, because there's a lot of challenges around becoming parents and a lot of time that is no longer available for the relationship. And so it becomes so important to schedule that time. And unsurprisingly, now we know that this is a habit of happily attached people. So let's go back over this list and get a few ideas on how you might be able to start developing these skills, even as a single person, or if you are in a relationship, how to begin to develop this skill each time through the list of areas that we see are important. So how do you make your partner a priority? How can you begin to do that as a single person? Is to put aside certain time for your learning and your development about love and partnership. So you want to be doing something about your level of awareness and education and experience of relationships. So maybe you're learning something about dating from a dating coach. Maybe you're on a newsletter and you spend some time reading through some findings on love and relationships. You watch these videos. You actually sign up for some courses. Maybe you do some training and you really work with a therapist on some of your issues. This is a way of making your love life a priority, and it's really an important skill because you'll need it when you attract a partner, and or you'll need it in your relationship as it is anyway, to begin to put your partnership and your partner as a priority. How to really learn to express compassion. This one you can actually do already in friendships. You can begin to study a spiritual technique that will help you actually become more in touch with your empathy and your compassion. And this will also help you to develop the skill of really feeling into other people and feeling for them, not just being focused on your own perception of things. And then find the way to start communicating that in your friendships. Let people know that you're concerned about them. When someone's going through a hard time, try to be around. Try to visit them. People are in hospital, doing surgery. Hopefully they're doing some other alternative treatments as well, which are not so dramatic as well. You can even show your love and care there. When a girlfriend breaks up with someone, go over with some food, hang out, and really be there compassionately. This is really going to help you develop this core quality of care. Then learning how to show your love. Some people give gifts. Some people actually acknowledge other people for what they've done in their lives, and this is a form of love. Some people give physical hugs, kisses. Find what you feel comfortable with. Try out different ways. Let yourself be vulnerable, and do that with your parents if you can. It's a good testing ground. And try and do that with friends as well. Really let them feel that you are on a serious path to expanding your love and your love mastery, and learn how to really show your love and your empathy to them. The other thing I mentioned before about affirmation as a way of showing love, you can actually extend and also learn how to do that at work. You might challenge yourself once a week and write an email to some person from your past and really affirm them for whatever they taught you in your life, or whatever they still remind you of in your life now that's positive. You can be affirming of people who give you good service at restaurants. You can be affirming of people who help you out. Someone helps you park. Let them know that that's incredible. Thank you so much for being considerate of me. And let yourself become more conscious of how to be in communication about your gratefulness, and how to then honor others for the efforts they offer to you in your life. Then you want to also do some training on conflict, and this is a more challenging one. There are some nonviolent communication workshops that you can attend, lots of work online on how to communicate better. I can advise you on a great woman called Alison Armstrong, who teaches women how to really honor men, how to understand men, and how to ask for what you want from a man. And this is powerful because a lot of women come into relationships and come into communication about their grievances in a criticizing way. And this has again been documented in a lot of the love expert research that I've been listening to over the last 4 or 5 years. There's a lot of evidence that suggests that men really don't like it when women are talking about what they're unhappy about, because the way they bring that information is very criticizing and sometimes castrating for men. And it's actually been found to be one of the real reasons that cause divorce. Men tend to leave their wives who they feel have been spending a lot of time trying to change them. And this gives them the sense that the person doesn't love them for who they are. And so they choose to end the relationship or leave the relationship. And this says something about the amount of criticism and or correcting that the woman has been doing. And of course, everyone has areas to improve on. The point is, how do you communicate what is not serving you? And how do you make the other person feel in the way that you talk about your needs and the way they're not being met? Are you doing enough of your own self-development, self-soothing work in order to not bring across a kind of violent style of communication or an aggressive, offensive style of communication? So some of us need work on this, and a lot of alpha females have to do a lot of work on it because we tend to go into competitive and defensive communication about our needs because we've had some challenges. So you can do some really important listening development work as well, learning how to really be a good listener, take up some counseling courses. You can sign up with me. We can do some work on that. Very specific work can be done on how to become more aware of others and the needs of others, and how to slow yourself down to actually communicate authentically and appropriately and with tact. So one of the important things you need to get behind is really what you do need and how to ask for that in an appealing way, in a way that brings out the best in the other person. The ability to self-soothe and this whole idea of developing oneself, working on oneself, we can see is so important. So I encourage you to keep up the great work that you're doing. I'm sure you've done a lot already, and I'm sure you've learned so much already, and you're doing so much more here with me. So congratulations on being a real stand for yourself and your future and the love that you want to bring into your life. And all I can say with that is that I stand with you, and I can support you in whatever other way you let me know I can. And there are many people standing by out there that are themselves victory stories of a lot of pain, struggle and suffering that they've had in relationships, and they can offer some incredible support on how to take up your self-care, how to take it seriously, how to get what you need from the world, from your experiences, from your work and from your learning journey, and how to be fulfilled as a human being. And this kind of attention and development is going to go a long way to make you not only a fuller human being that can offer so much and contribute to another person, but also it will take care of you emotionally so that you're not feeling desperate, needy, and projecting all of your unmet needs onto your partner. And as we see, that's very, very important. The last area is this one about creating the quality relationships. We spoke about that as being able to put aside some quality time and spend it with yourself. Take yourself to a beautiful place with a beautiful view. Take your friends out for a picnic. Get involved in new and interesting activities that take you out of your comfort zone, and feel the quality of your life, the privilege of being alive. Thank you so much for listening to this video with me. If there's anything you need to know more about, any people that I've mentioned to you here that you would like some links on, let me know. I am on druminspire@gmail.com, and you can also surf my blog on www.ahaintelligence.com. Lots of amazing people there that I talk about and give references for on this incredible journey we call life. I wish you the best. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.